right. Shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites who come in week and week out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, also known as the United Snakes of America. And wake up the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Speckled Bird. Get you to repent, acknowledge your offense, pray for forgiveness, and get back in the ordinances of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? Because the time is short, this devil knows it, and he's coming down with great wrath right now. All right? So first and foremost, and as always, all praise is due to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem HaKadosh. All right? Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, elder bishops, and all the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers I push to the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, all right? All right, so this is the book of Proverbs 1 and 7. Right, going into the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because you got fear and then you got no fear. All right, so let's start with righteous fear. And what is righteous fear? Proverbs 1 and 7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. All right? And it's the wisdom and instruction that's going to get you through this Jacob's trouble. All right? Let's get wisdom and knowledge. It's Isaiah 33. Bear with me. It's a lot here. Just get it. Isaiah 33 and 6, right? And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear, there it is again, okay? So, the fear of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure, all right? To have this truth, to have this understanding of the one true doctrine is a treasure. All right. I was telling my wife that I was like, hey, there's nothing above this. All right. What is going to get us through the darkest time? You talk about the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages started about a year ago. All right, and you can see Jake, right? What is Jake doing right now? The Most High is awesomely clever, okay? He's supremely clever. He got Jake in the Walmart and the Target acting a damn fool, and the devil knows just how to play that fiddle. right? The devil is making Jake the face of the downfall of Babylon. You understand? Here it is. This devil done, right? Jake goes into Home Depot to steal a phone charger. Gets caught. Instead of just, getting a misdemeanor for stealing a phone charger, Jake turns around and murders the clerk, the rent-a-cop or whatever. Jake murders. Now you got murder. You got the kid in the car. You got a number of charges on you. Okay? And what are they going to do? They're going to use that, right, to say that you're the problem why America is in the toilet. It's because of the way you niggas are out here running, acting. Look at you out in Chicago. Look at you in the Target. Look at you in the Walmart, right? All you need is enough instances to shift the focus onto Jake. All right? Jake shot one customer clerk, right? But you got Esau going flying an army to Iraq, to Afghanistan, to Vietnam, to Korea, right? To the Middle East, to Syria, to Ukraine, and doing what? Murdering a crazy number of individuals, right? And somehow that's okay, right? The foreign policy of the United Snakes of America is that if you're not trading in our dollars, that ain't worth a damn thing. We're going to come, we're going to start at the head of the snake, we're going to kill everybody down there and install our own puppet regime. All right? And this is protocol. Murder and skullduggery of the greatest kind is protocol for Esau. Now that that's come to an end, right? You can't squeeze any more blood out of a turnip. Everything runs its course. Everything has a beginning and an end. Here we are at the end. Now this devil with billions of bodies. This devil got, billions of bodies. Right? Now he wants to point at Jake and say, they're looting the food king, right? Which comes out of Animal House. They're looting the food king. Everybody focuses on them, right? So you're the face of the downfall of Babylon the Great right now. And that's what the Most High wants. The Most High, right, is doing what? He's starting at his house. Okay? He's starting. He's going to make Jake the culprit. He's doing two things. All right? The face of the downfall of Babylon the Great will be you 2/3. Okay? You got a nigga, the basketball rolls in his yard. He pulls out the jammy and goes next door and starts shooting Edomites, or what appears to be an Edomite. That's all you need. All you need is 6 instances of Jake acting a damn fool to do what? To scare this devil into his greatest fear. What is his greatest fear? You're going to do to me what we did to you. So now, right, you take the apparatus called the media, You flood the airwaves with 6 instances of Jake acting a damn fool, right? Let alone you could kill a Jake whenever you want to, right? Verbatim. But now, what does this devil do? He's shifting blame like he does, right? Because he needs cover right now. This devil needs cover. He's got war on 6 different fronts. Let's see if we can get to 6. Let's start in the Sudan. You got Sudan, Ethiopia. These are cheap shots. Syria. That's 3. Those are cheap shots. Okay. Now, where's the spotlight? Eastern Europe, which is Ukraine, Russia. South China Sea, which is Taiwan, China, U.S. That's 6. Is that 6? Let's say that's 5. What else? Iran, Israeli. Is that 6? And we could keep going. Did we get the Korean Peninsula? Did we get Korea? Let's start there. Korea, Eastern Europe, South China Sea, Syria, Iran, Israeli. That's 5. Let's call Africa a whole. That's 6. Easy. That spells world war. Okay? What does world war mean to the men of the Lord? Right? It means our salvation is nigh. How are we getting the hell up out of here? We're getting the hell up out of here with a boat lift. Remember the Muriel boat lift? I think it was Cuba. Right? What's going to happen? Them chariots are going to come and extract us up out of here, out of the war zone, because this is ground zero. Babylon the Great is ground zero. Okay? Ground zero for what? Nuclear bombs, munitions, ammunition, bombs, weapons, planes, tanks, nukes, missiles, war. Okay? When 2 kingdoms go to war, whoever wins, right? To the victor go the spoils, right? What are the spoils? The kingdom. You get to set up, tell your history of what happened, your side of the story, right? And you set up your kingdom, and everybody else belongs to you. They are your subjects. They are subject unto you. You are now the new ruler. Okay? So, what war are we in right now? Okay? Well, let's see. H.G. Wells, Tom Cruise, right? The War of the Worlds. Okay? What worlds? Okay? The war. Let's get it. Okay? Let's get Joel. Okay? Not Joel. Let's get a second Ezra. Salaki, bear with me. Second Ezra 13. Bear with me. Is it 13 or 15? Salakia. I think it's 15. Salah. An old school dude in this truth. It works better with the book. Let's see. Is it 13? Let me see. Right here, 13. Salakia. Second Ezra 13 and 31. I don't know why it took so long. Salakia. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one people against another. God damn it, Jake.
Tremendous cream, $1 and a green. Still tote gas strapped with infrared beam. Chopping O's, hooking line after moles. Money holes and gold, all the nigga knows. A fool's pleasure when
This nigga playing some 30-year-old music.
So grams I had the money. However, living better now. Put you shut around.
Salakia. Second Ezra 13 and 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. What do you mean realm? Okay? That goes into the War of the Worlds. Okay? World War III is going to be going on. Okay? That's the earthly realm. And then the spiritual realm, right? The fourth dimension, if you will, is the war of the world. The war of the third dimension, earth, and the fourth dimension, the spiritual world, are going to have the war of the worlds, going back to H.G. Wells, right? Which was a radio show. Because this devil, he knows. This devil understands the scriptures at the highest level, the Chaldeans. And what they do, right? They have set this thing up. What they had to do is divert you. So they had a radio show and they said, oh, the world, I'm not even sure what it was, the 30s. They had a radio, this was before the television. H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. It's a radio show, and they were acting out that aliens had invaded the earth and were out killing people. Okay? And they scared a bunch of people, right? Made them believe that water towers were these tripod aliens, and spooked a bunch of people in Babylon. This is actually some real shit, which somebody, I'm probably going to do a lesson on it. Because it's very important, because it lets you know that this devil knows what's coming. So what does he do? He tries to get a jump on it so he can control the narrative. War of the Worlds, da-da-da-da. It's just science fiction, right? This nigga knows exactly what's coming. So he wants to narrate and give you his side of the story and explain away the fact that the so-called aliens, nigga, they're coming after you to preserve and to rescue us, the children of Israel. You didn't say that part. You didn't say that part in War of the Worlds. Well, they're coming to save the children of Israel. It took this guy, George Clinton, right? What is it called? Space Traders. Check that short film out. Space Traders, George Clinton, Cosmic Slop, all right? It took him to put things more in perspective. He had the spaceships come down, and what did they do? They took Jake away, right? And he couldn't come out and tell the whole story, but he told enough, right? And this was years after Mothership Connection, the album, which goes into Star Child, who is Yahweh, right? Star Child represents Yahweh. So the Most High was using the recording angels, if you will, to good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
All right. He's using the recording angels to bring forth this word. All right, brother. You know you're Israelite, right? Huh?
What do we do with it now? What I do?
This is what you do right here?
Huh?
You do this?
That's what I'm saying. That's good. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, glad.
Come over here. Let me holler at you.
I'm on short time.
Jake don't get it. Yeah, you on short time. You on short time. So, two worlds. Okay? See, Jake fears the devil. Right? Right now, your fear gotta be right. Okay? If you don't fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai Salaki, you don't fear the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you're gonna know fear in a minute. You're on the wrong side of the Most High's fear. You don't want that, okay? Because there's, first of all, the Most High is sending the devil after you. That's still the fear of the Lord. It all roads lead to the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai. If the devil is about to torment you and stick a trident up your ass in the form of a guillotine, okay? Or stick a charagma up in you and have you, what do they call it? Radiate yourself and get cancer, right? It's the same thing. You would rather go through a righteous torment, if you will, okay? All of it is fear. You got fear. What's the opposite of fear? Right? Confidence and joy. So you got to have confidence and joy. Everybody's got to go through Jacob's trouble. Even Esau. It's Esau's trouble too. Okay? But your fear has to be righteous. It's the only way I can put it. All right? So the War of the Worlds, right, is here. The War of the Worlds starts with World War III, and it ends in two realms fighting against each other. In one realm, the third density, the third dimension, getting laid down, and then the new king being established and the kingdom of heaven being established. Okay? So you're going to fear the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, one way or the other. if it be through the devil and you getting burned up, right? Or, okay, or the fear of the Lord is his treasure, all right? The fear of the Lord is what you want. That righteous fear is what's going to get you through this thing, all right? So back to fear. I'm going to read, what is it, 33? Salakia, let me read Isaiah 33 again. 33 and 6. Wisdom and knowledge, there it is. There's that wisdom and knowledge. Shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. All right? The fear of the Lord is his treasure. There's that fear. Okay? Now, what is the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua? How to get through this thing. Yea, though I walk through, let's get it, the valley of the shadow of death. What is the valley of the shadow of death? It's Babylon the Great. Okay, and what word are we going to stumble upon? We're going to stumble upon that word fear. Psalm 23 and 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, which is America, Babylon the Great, the United Snakes of America, right? Why? Because, Jake, you can't walk from one block to the next without catching your own death. Okay? The shadow of death is upon us wherever you go. Get up and go to the bathroom. Nigga, you might get shot through the window. All right? Catch a bullet. That's in the scriptures. All right? Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Who is evil? No bad times. Who is evil? Esau is evil. I will fear no evil. No, your fear belongs to the Most High, Yahweh Shemiel Shah. How do you get through Jacob's trouble? Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because I'm too busy fearing the Most High. Who told me what? Have no fear. See that? Fear not, Jacob, thou worm. I will deliver you. You see, here we have balance. When you're dealing with fear, you have to, everything. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So what about fear? Well, you got to have righteous fear, and you got to have no fear of evil. Okay? For you are with me. Whoa. Okay? For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. If the Most High is with you, who can be against you? If it be of the Most High, no one can disannul it. Paraphrasing. All right? This is talking about Jacob's trouble at its height. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. This is talking about Jacob's trouble at its peak. And we're not even close to the peak yet. You understand? Jacob's trouble has just begun. We're in the beginning of sorrow. Salakia, bear with me. Salaki. So, coming into this thing, right? We're so close. We're so close to what? Let's get some instruction here. We go back real quick. Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Hey, instruction, dude. You gotta follow instructions. Okay? What is the instruction? Alright, well, let's get some. Proverbs 3 and 5. All right, because this keeps coming up, right? And this is milk. All right? How do you survive Jacob's trouble with that milk? All right? Milk will get you through this thing. You don't have to be in the lotus position, floating on a cloud, right, to make it through Jacob's trouble. You got to know right from wrong. You got to know how to follow instructions, and the laws are not grievous. The instruction is not hard. It's easy. The simplicity of Yahweh Shah. All right? Here's how simple it is. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. This is instruction. Don't be a fool, and it's just this simple. Just focus. Okay? Fear the Most High, keep His commandments, right? Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not. Don't worry about what you learned over here. Okay? You gotta listen. You gotta listen for the Spirit of the Lord, what they call the Holy Spirit. Okay? The Holy Spirit is gonna say, hey, this is the way. You're gonna put that pack on your back. You're gonna walk out when it's time, because the Spirit said, get the hell up out of here. The brother, I forget his name, but from Chicago, he did a video about some money that was on his phone, his old phone, through these apps, right? And he gave his testimony, and his testimony was that the Spirit kept guiding him. The Spirit said his phone, his number one phone died. And then he said, well, and then the Spirit told me, go get the old phone, right? Go use your old phone. So he said, oh, okay, I'll use the old phone. He goes use it, and then he said, he started playing with these apps on the old phone, probably Muse them. And he said, and then the Spirit said, check this app. And he goes to whatever app it was, a little cash app or whatever, and he found a couple of dollars. Hey, it's $30. And the Spirit kept pushing him to these different cash apps, if you will. And then he wound up on PayPal or something like that. And there's $800 in PayPal. And it was the Spirit saying, hey. So, what is the big picture? What are we talking about here? Here, here we stand. Jacob's trouble done started. And if you're not fucking paying attention, you're going to get ran up on by a thief in the night. Okay? If you are paying attention, guess what you got to do? You got to follow these instructions. How close are we to the end? Okay? Look at the World War. Canadian prepper. His last video, it's like 10 minutes. What was it? NATO crosses Russia, something like that. It's a 10-minute video of how, when the war started, right? It's a video of before the war started and a timeline, okay? And that video is so important. I'm going to do a World War III video on it tomorrow. It's a 10-minute video, right? And it shows you the timeline of how World War III just popped up in the course of a year. Okay, and of course this thing's been going on for a while. But if you can't see what the fuck is going on right now, see, again, World War III is how we get the hell up out of here. All right? So what are you supposed to be doing? You're supposed to know what time we're in. All right? You're supposed to have a spiritual watch on your wrist and know how to read it. Fucking Jake, man. Hey, this shit is almost, we won't have to deal with niggas like this ever again. 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. What does that mean? It means look at your watch and know, be able to see what's coming, how close we are to the end of this thing. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Jump down to 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. Okay, so you're supposed to know the beginning and the end of the time that we're in. When did Jacob's trouble start? When did World War III start in earnest? When did we cross the Rubicon? Okay, so back to CP, Canadian prepper, and his video. He said this thing started when Russia shot down their own satellite. Okay, so watch that video. It starts like this. Well, here's the timeline. Russia shot down their own satellite. Why? Why did Russia shoot down their own satellite? Right? Because that satellite was probably, giving the enemy some intel. You're able to, to use certain things to lock you. Use different people's satellites, on the sly or whatever. That's one thing. Number two, Russia shot down their own satellite. If they would have shot down somebody else's satellite, they'd be in trouble. Let's shoot our own satellite down to show a motherfucker we can shoot down anybody's satellite that we want to. They're showing, wow. Showing their, Russia is showing their capability, their satellite capabilities. We can take your satellite down if we want to. All right. I didn't know the camera was right there. Hey, camera. Right there. Anyway, hey, I ain't doing nothing wrong. Hell, the precinct is right there. Or right here. You ain't tripping on me. Anyway, that was the first thing. And this so-called war goes back to 08, 09. Okay. And before that. But 2014, right? When the, what do they call it? The Minsk agreement fell apart. Or when they instituted the Minsk agreement and nobody was following it. And it became obvious that NATO and the EU were just stalling for time to get Ukraine up to speed so that they could do what they're doing now. Okay? Russia's like this. If we don't move now, they're going to be right on our border. Right? Because the objective was to invite and to bring the Ukraine into NATO. They're still working on it, right? Next is Sweden. Norway just got in, okay? So now they're on the so-called Russian border, right? So shoot down the satellite, then they invaded a month later, yeah? And so go watch that Canadian Prepper. Well, what does all of this mean? World War III is how we get the hell up out of here. All right, you got that? Are you listening? Do you have that? World War III is how we get out. Right? And this conversation, if I point the cameras right there. It was funny because they took my video down 2 days ago, right, in the middle of the night. They take my video down, give me a strike, and then they say, okay, are you going to appeal? Like, yeah, I'll appeal. And I mean, the men of the Lord, we're so disgusted at this point. When you're writing your appeal, right, you're like this. Okay, first of all, I didn't say anything that had anything to do with no damn medical misinformation in the video. Because the video was about the C-hip, right? So how do you word an appeal when you're disgusted, right? So it comes out, it had nothing to do with medical information. And furthermore, what you need to do is you need to go back and have a real human being review this video instead of an algorithm that's listening for particular words and then flag the video. Because guess what? We're in a time of great judgment here. And I hope you're listening, because you're already in trouble what happened to me out here a short time ago, right? We're in the time of great judgment. So listen and do whatever you got to do, right? What'd you do to Yahushua? Right? The one you called Jesus. What did you do? So we're ready. And you devils are going to do what you do. But your judgment is this close. And this came out in the appeal, right? I'm like, you need to have a real human being go back and check this so that you can see that what you're doing is about to get you judged. We're this close to judgment. And whoever, this is, I mean, I forgot what I said. I wanted to, after they granted the appeal, I was like, I want to go back and read what I said because apparently it was effective. But I basically threatened them with the judgment that is coming, right? There goes the Jake right there running that way. You in such a rush not to hear this truth. Anyway, so long story short, I'm like, you're about to get judged. Everything you do, every idle word, every video you take down because of nothing. Here it is, you got some AI. AI is about to get you judged. So, you know, I wish I would have snapshotted or screenshotted whatever I said, because apparently it worked. Was it the part about the judgment? I don't know. I don't know. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that's exactly what it was. Because whoever granted the appeal, right, might not be judged for what the hell was going on. This is the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. If you find yourself in a situation with a man of the Lord, you're cuffing him, and you put the cuffs on a little too hard, like you're trained to do. Well, here's how you can hurt him. You can incapacitate him, and you can paralyze him if you do this. If you're doing that kind of shit, guess what? You don't know that you're going to be judged for that. And we're in the time of judgment now. So do whatever the fuck you got to do. Do whatever you have to do. Right? Why am I standing right under a damn camera? Right? Well, I'm going to do the work over here today. Why? Now I look up, I'm like, oh shit. I'm 50 feet away from the camera that's right. How did that happen? Well, Yahweh Shem Yahushua set that up. Right? Now we're back to fear. You think I fear this? Or what this devil can do? Or do I fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua? Alright? Whatever happens is of the Lord. Man's goings are of the Lord. Alright? So, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of, I shall fear no evil. What? This is just the beginning. Salah. Well, what are they saying when they're out there? Well, you're hearing it right now, aren't you? Asmodee from outer space. This is Matthew 24:8. As soon as this coon gets the fuck out of here. This nigga's on a bike pulling a cart with a big ass speaker on it. Jake is completely destroyed. It's Matthew 24:8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all men, Salakah, of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall arise, and deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right? So, we're in the beginning of what? Of Jacob's trouble. Let's get Jacob's trouble. 21. Matthew 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of this world, Salakia, not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So, hey, we all got a job to do, right? Check the record. Been out here. All right, this is nothing new. The devil is going to do his job, right? Devil's got a job to do, right? Man's goings are of the Lord, right? The devil has to play his part. Man got to play his part. And, well, aren't you afraid? I'm afraid of the Most High. I'm not afraid of the devil. The Most High will deliver you from any situation. What do you have to do? Lean not unto your own understanding. I'm like, I want to show the camera up there. But it's there. And they're listening. And they know who I am. I was just in there. Right? And they knew. They know. They know who the men of the Lord are. Lord willing, I'm one of them men. Right? What are we doing? We're out here trying to endure until the end, no matter what. We don't fear this devil. Devil is he's gonna come down with great wrath. He knows we're at the end of this. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore, rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. The Most High, His Son, the angels, Satan, right? The left-hand side, the heavenly host. Hell, all the spirits, the spirit of man that went up. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. These devils now, right? They done built up their infrastructure, right? As though that's going to save them. These devils, they fear the Most High too. Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. If you got an ear up there, hear this. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saint. All we got to do is speak these words. And the vibration of these words is stronger than you can ever imagine. These words, who is the word? Yahweh Shai is the word. Okay? And you think that you have a chance against the Most High and His Son out here? You can't even begin to fathom the amount of trouble that you're in. Right? We had it hard. Jake had it hard in slavery. Can you imagine the slavery in the kingdom? First of all, it's going to be righteous. Second of all, it's going to be double. Render unto him double. Double. I'd be scared too. This devil knows that what he did to... What is the devil's biggest fear? That what he did to us, we're going to do to him. And they don't want that. But guess what? There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to get out of your judgment. You're going to kill as many people as you can. You're going to do any and everything possible to offset the prophecies. And we already know. We know. You're going to do anything. and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Everything it says in this book is going to happen. Every prophecy is going to come to pass. And you're done. There's nothing you can do. Nothing. Except for play your role in this great saga, right? The most beautiful movie ever constructed. And we're so close to the end now that we're supposed to be what manner? Let's get Peter. Second Peter 3:11, seeing that all these things shall be dissolved. What do you mean dissolved? Back to World War III, okay, which is going to end in nuclear annihilation. The acronym MAD, M-A-D, mutually assured destruction. You got that, devil? There's nothing you can do. This is ground zero. Babylon the Great, the United Snakes, is ground zero for what? Nuclear annihilation. Mutually assured destruction. You're going to bite, scratch, fight, do whatever you can not to receive your judgment, and it's going to happen anyway. Exactly the way the Most High has it all planned and all spelled out. And the men of the Lord were like this. Hey, what can you do? You can't do anything to change this. If we go down, right, in the midst of all the chaos, because everybody's going to go through chaos. Men of the Lord, we're going to go through chaos. There's no pre-tribulation rapture. No. Everybody is going to go through this hell, right? And the men of the Lord, if we don't make it through standing up, we'll be the first one on that chariot. So there's no loss there. There's no losing. All you got to do is get out here and do what the hell you're supposed to do. Stand in great boldness. Did I finish this? Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. That's the end. That's the end of Edom's rule. That's the end of this kingdom, ushering in our kingdom, that we're going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. And then, guess what? That captivity is going to be brutal. Why? Because we're going to be celestials. We're going to be celestials, man. We're going to be extraterrestrial human beings. Right? That's what it says in here. So what are you going to do? And that's going to happen on this side too. 144,000 of us are going to, hey, you know the first place I'm going? Whoever jacked up my hands like that, it's fresh on my mind. Right? Just like the appeal. Okay? Just like in that appeal. If I'm one of the 144 that get this spiritual power, one of the first things I'm going to do, right, is revenge myself upon my enemy that did that. Even if it's a Jake, if it's a 2/3, right, who did that, when he could have, right, made sure that I was in some kind of comfortable position. What you did is you were being the fucking devil working for the damn devil. And you're going to get got for that. All right? You can't touch one of these little ones. You can't harm one of these little ones. That's on your record. You think you got away with something? Had a little laugh with your buddy the devil. If it wasn't a devil. Well, guess what? I'm going to see you. I pray. Call halal Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. I pray that I get to revenge myself upon my enemies and the enemies of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right? And you don't know what that means. You don't understand this heavenly conversation. This conversation is from the heavens. You don't understand this. Well, this thing is happening. What you grinning at, lady?
I'm sorry?
I said, what you grinning at?
I was just, as you were talking over there, and I see you're doing your little thing there, so I didn't want to get involved and I didn't want to interrupt you.
Do you work over here?
I do. That's perfect.
Huh?
I'm just a dispatcher, so I'm up.
You might be okay. You might be okay. All right. That's the enemy. See? Hey, that's the enemy. Let's get that. Hey, and you know, let's break it down real quick. She's the enemy. Got that? Sirach 12. Hey, we're just going in the spirit. Sirach 12. You want to see how this works? Let me show you. Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and be aware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. All right? So I know who my enemy is. Now, we'll take it a step further. All right? Let's be in the Apocrypha. Bear with me. Proverbs. Proverbs 16 and 7. You listening, devil? When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. See that? That's called balance. I know who my enemy is, and I don't trust my enemy. But what am I doing? I'm trying to please the Lord. How do you do that? Right? Go ye into the highways and the hedges. Luke 14 and 23. And the Lord said unto the servant, here it is. Why are you doing it? I'm following instruction. Right? I fear the Most High. I don't despise wisdom and instruction. Why are you out here? And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and the hedges. See these hedges? and compel them to come in that my house may be filled. All right? Got to do it. Right? And then whatever, come what may. Que sera, sera. Right? That's French. That's the instruction. You can't despise instruction. You gotta do what? Make your bodies so lucky. This is the book of Romans 12 and 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Right? Wisdom. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Are we not standing in great boldness before the focus, before the face, before the fisheye lens? Answer is yes. All right. So, what do you do with it? Okay? You endure until the end. How? You follow them instructions. What instructions? Go back to Matthew. Matthew 24 and 13. See the devil creeping up behind me. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. All right? This is what we're doing. How do you endure until the end? Right? How is that actually done? Well, you got a job to do, number one. You have the greatest job in the entire earth. You were sent down here, right? You used to have a celestial body. You participated in the creation of the heavens and the earth. Right? Let's get it. Here's your job right here. Genesis 1 and 1. In the beginning, the gods, the Elohim, the Elohim, created the heavens and the earth. You're a creator God. You're an angel. Right? Like recording angels, right? Well, there you are right there. What's your job here on this earth? See, some people believe that the police have a great job. Well, we'll see about that. when all hell breaks loose, right? I saw the sheriff. Where was this at? Not exactly sure. Somewhere down in Southern California. And they have a LGBTQR and a trans march or assembly. And the trans people, they had a protester hemmed up, right? And one of the trans people comes up and sucker punches the protester, and there's like 5 uniformed sheriffs, California Sheriff Department, standing right there watching, and the guy gets sucker punched and cold cocked, and the sheriff points at the guy who did it, and the ones that had the protester hemmed up and had him, what do they call that? Kidnapping? What do you call it? When you're forcefully holding somebody against their will. They're sitting there watching it and not doing nothing. The guy comes up and boom! Busting hard. And the protester, he kind of shook it off. He's being held, right? Surrounded by the alphabet community, if you will. Are you getting this? Are you getting this? So, and the sheriffs are just, they can't do nothing. And then one sheriff points at the guy, and then he just stands down there. They're all just standing. They can't do nothing. Because of the threat of that community had them outnumbered. They knew they were outnumbered. And then the guy who was, what do you call it? Kidnapped. I don't even know what to call it. Being held against his will. He breaks out of the hole and starts running. And they start running after him. And the sheriff is just standing there. They can't do nothing. The one guy's like this, get out of here, telling the sheriff. And the sheriff's standing there. They all had service pistols. They can't do nothing. And you know what I'm talking about. You know where this thing is going. Okay? You got Chicago. The streets are full of kids. Little bad demons out there tearing shit up. But there's so many of them, right? You're overwhelmed. What do? And they're going to bring out the MRAPs, and they're going to bring out the robot dogs and all of that. We understand where this thing is going. We understand how they're building a case, and they're using these snippets. And who's the one that got online and said, okay, we're in this chat room. Here's what we're going to do. We're all going to form up, and we're going to go down to the center, right, downtown, and we're going to start shit and tear shit up. This is how they're doing that. Pretty much like January 6th went the same way. We're all going to go down to the mall, right? We're going to tear shit up. And this is what they're doing now. And what were the police and the mall cops, what were they doing then? Well, they were standing down. They were saying, well, go anywhere you hear. Come this way. Here, let me open this door. So what is becoming of policing? What is going to come of the cops when the people rise up? All right? Let's go back. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra. What are we looking for? All right? Well, let's consult the scriptures. They're going to tell us what we're looking for. We're going to see how few of the proud, the military, the police, the sheriffs, we're going to see how proud you are in that day when shit spirals the hell out of control. And you know what I'm talking about. It's my job to come out here and say this, right? And you can be mad at me, and you can hate me, and you can cuff me and beat me up and do all of that, because there's a judgment for that, all right? There's what goes around comes around situation. When you're out on your beat and you want to rough somebody up, you want to cuff them in a way that is hurtful, and you know all of that, right? What you should be doing right now, you should be CYA, covering your ass, because we're moving into a time where the power that you believe that you have, right? All of that's going to come back on you. Things are going to spiral out of control. You know it. You see it. And we're there. What you should do right now is you should say, you know what? All that shit I did for the last 20 years, I repent. I repent of my wickedness, what I was doing to my own people, to these people. I was jacking them up, planting. I was doing all kind of crazy shit. What the hell was I doing? How come I don't know that, know ye not that what a man reap, that shall he all, what a man soweth, that also shall he reap? That all of this is going to come back on me? You don't know that? Crazy. You don't think that everything that you've done in wickedness is going to come back on you? And not just you, but your family. Why do you put on a badge, take a gun, and go out here and do this work? Sure, when you went to the academy, you thought it was a noble thing, and then you get in and you say, this is all, I got to do this? And then you make excuses, right? And you go out and you do it, you get a paycheck, and you're living a little better than everybody else, but you're still out there doing that, right? What are you doing? That's not coming back on you. We're in the time of great judgment now. The people are rising up. Up. 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs, what are the signs? Past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand it is the very same time that the highest will begin to visit the world. What does it mean that God is going to visit the world? He's coming back to judge, to pass judgment. So everything that you've done in wickedness, right? Well, I cuffed this guy, and I knew what I was doing. I was trying to break his wrists, right? I was trying to hurt him. I'm so mad that I got this job. I hate myself. I hate everybody. I'm going to take it out on the people. What signs? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Do we see uproars of the people in the world? Guess what? Well, they ran up into Walmart. They're tearing shit up. They're stealing TVs. Look at them. Look at them. They're stealing tennis shoes. They're stealing TVs. What is that? That's an uproar. Well, they went out to the street in Chicago to do what? Just to tear shit up. Why? Because they're mad. They're mad at the treatment, how they've been being treated. Do I have to go back and well, let's do away with CRT, because CRT is the truth and we don't want that truth coming out. You think God is going to allow CRT to be just, let's just hide that? No, we're in the time now, in these last days, where everything that was done in the dark is coming to the light. think he could hide CRT? You think he could hide the wickedness, the everything that was done? Well, I didn't do it, it wasn't me. But it was your forefathers. And you benefited from them. And what you don't know is that you are your forefathers coming back in the reincarnation. So it was you. You don't know. You don't know nothing about the Most High. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You don't know nothing. And you're in a trick bag. But guess what? There's coming a time where everybody's going to be able to, he's going to like, from one moment to the next, you're a fucking dumbass. The next moment, you understand God, put the Spirit on you to have understanding about what is about to happen to you, and it ain't good. What is it? Well, you got to pay for everything you did. All that wickedness, all that shit you did, right, that you thought you were getting away with. Suddenly, that's being done to you and your family, right? Beth at the house who's cooking because you got money for beating people up, shoving them into jail, right? Because of their living condition that was foisted upon them in some really, really wicked circumstances that you fully know about, but you're turning a blind eye. And you're working for this system, this beast system that goes to the top. And I won't get into it. All right, here we are on the lowest level, on the street level. Then you got a class system, or in India, a caste system, right? And we're at the lowest. What's going on at the top of the class system? Well, you got the lower class, you got the middle class, you got the upper class, you got the elite. What's going on up there? Who do you work for? You work for those people at the top. What are they doing? Well, they're making you go and beat up the little people and create a lower class of workers and slaves and subjects. A king has subjects. You work for the king. What do? You go and you jack up the subjects, you put them to work, you put them into jail to get free labor. You know, slavery. Basically you're the slave master. You're not the owner. You're the slave master. And what are you doing? Whatever you're doing, for whatever little bit of money you're getting, 20 lashes. You got 40 lashes coming. You don't get it? You don't understand that? It might not be now. It might not be this year. What was that girl's name? Damn, I just saw it. Kim Potter. You know who Kim Potter is? Remember Kim Potter, the one that taser, pop, 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 pop. Shot that N-word up. Remember Kim Potter? She's in an orange jumpsuit. In there. You know, when you throw somebody in jail, you got on your bulletproof, you got this uniform, you got a service pistol, and you're above. You're not even above these people. You're on the same level, but you got the upper class, the elites, got you down here doing foul, dirty work. That dirty work is going to come back on you. It's going to come back on them at the top. And guess what? We're in the time of great judgment. Know ye not? See how the Spirit moves? Why am I talking about it? It's the Spirit. What a man soweth. You know that? What a man soweth, Slovakia. Bear with me. That also shall he reap. Slovakia, bear with me. That also shall he reap. Galatians. Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, we caught this guy, right? And yeah, he was breaking the law, but I was mad that day. So I put a little extra cuffing stuff on him because I was mad. Something that you might think is small. We had a little laugh about it. Fucked him up. Can't really use his hands anymore. Right? Paralyzed him. You see this word whatsoever? For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you do some shit to somebody, you don't think it's going to come back on you? What about karma? Everybody knows karma. Yin yang. Everybody knows that. We don't even have to read it out of the book. Everybody knows that if you do some fucked up shit to somebody, it's going to come back on you. Of course you know who I am. You got facial recognition, all my fingerprints, but you won't be putting a microchip in my hand. And we could do this shit all day. We could do it all day. You supposed to be paying me.
Do you happen to know where Catholic Charities is at? Thank you.
So, here's the deal. Everything is spiraling out of control. Okay? Everything. Society. Everything is CTD. What does CTD mean? Circling the dream. There's your death spiral. Things are spiraling out of control. With each day that passes, the people are going to get more and more upset about the state of the union, if you will. The state of affairs, of what's going on now. Okay? Here's what's going to happen. My buddy Drunk, who speaks to me through the page, right? Shout out to the homie Drunk and T-Mac, right? Shout out to my peeps, asked me in a comment, he said, what do you think is going to be that event that takes Babylon the Great down? He said, what do you think is going to be that moment where you just know everything just fell apart, right? And all hell is about to... Basically, he was, when is all hell going to break loose? I'm like, oh, good question, right? And I'm going to wrap it up after this. All hell is going to break loose like this. And they're projecting it real hard right now. When your boy Klaus Schwab tells you that there's going to be a cyber attack, there's going to be a cyber attack, right? A cyber attack. What's going on right now? Well, a solar, what is it? A coronal mass ejection is headed toward the Earth right now. And at, 10 o'clock tonight, when that plasma, right? And they're pushing it real hard. All they got to do is say, well, there's a coronal mass ejection, and it shut down all the power. One. There's a coronal mass ejection on the way here right now. And they're pushing it real hard on the internet or whatever you want to call it. Right? They're pushing it. So if some guy is sitting there with a Roadrunner and Coyote switch, right? That electricity switch, he's sitting there, say right now, and they pull it down and they shut everything down. It was the sun. The sun shot out a coronal mass ejection and it shut everything down. They could blame it on that. You know, the guy's sitting there with the switch. You know how the devil gets down. He's going to blame it on anybody but him damn self. And the point is when the power goes out, that's one way that the power could go out with a coronal mass ejection, yes. But if it don't make it, if it misses the Earth, and they got that dude sitting there with the switch on some Bugs Bunny shit, right? That's already planned. How about an EMP? An electromagnetic pulse. Okay? How do you create an electromagnetic pulse? You shoot a nuke in the air and you explode it in the air, and the shock wave comes and it knocks out the whole grid. And then everybody is in the dark. In other words, how do you take the grid down? You got people out right now attacking substations, right? Electricity substations where the transformers, let's throw a big old chain out there and disable this. It's all kind of attacks going on. The trains, right? The food processing plants. There's so much going on right now. Right? And it comes back to the police. What are the police going to do when the lights go out? When all hell breaks loose, when the lights go out, how many cops are there? There's not enough. How many guns are out here? It's going to be every man for himself. And what is a cop going to do? He's going to put that badge and that gun down. Well, he'll put the gun away. But he's going to take that uniform off. He knows. These cops know exactly when. They're proud right now. Let's not forget about the pride. Right? But they know this. The time is coming where you're going to take off that uniform and be like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. What cop? I'm not a cop. You're going to take that uniform off and act like you don't know. I'm not on the force. Oh, you were the one that pushed me down. You pushed my head down and you knocked my head into the cruiser. First you cuffed me unceremoniously. You knocked my head into the cruiser. You threw me in there. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. That day is here. Okay? What happened in Chicago? Okay? What happens when the whole street is filled with people and anarchy and mayhem and chaos? And it ain't. What's going on in Paris, France right now? What happens when they're coming out every day? Right? Here's the difference between Babylon the Great right here and Paris, France. Everybody's got a gun. And here's what you don't understand, okay? God Almighty, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, is putting the Spirit on all men to do what? To bring this chaos. We're in a time of great judgment. We're in the time of great judgment. Everybody's going to stand before the Son of the Most High and receive their judgment. You don't understand and you don't believe that, but guess what? See, right before a kingdom comes to an end, right? God, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, sends his prophets out to warn the people, hey, here's what's going to happen. This is what Noah did, right? For like 120 years before it started raining. He went out and he said, hey, y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping. God is about to destroy this place. Well, here we are. So, and you're laughing. They was throwing shit at Noah. Ah, shut up, Noah. What is rain? Right? Dew comes up from the ground or whatever. Well, guess what? We're out here doing just like Noah did, warning you that chaos is coming. So what can you do? Well, I fucked up a lot of people in my time in the fraternal order. I fucked up. I did a lot of bad shit. Yeah, you did. And you're going to pay for it. There ain't no, well, you can repent and no, you're going to pay for it. All right? It's going to come back on you. And it's going to be brutal. All right? Because God, Yahweh Ba'Shem, he knows everything you've done. Everything. So what can you do? You can pretty much put your head in between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye. Well, I might as well, yeah, do what the hell you gotta do. All right? I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You do what you gotta do. And we're gonna see how it turns out for you. Okay, you and Becky at the house and little Nancy, little Susie at the pad, right? Who you've done everything you had to do to make sure that she had a good life. Let's see how God judges you, right? And see, God knows. He knows your weak points. God won't, well, I'll just take it on the chin. No, he's going to go after little Susie. God is going to start, he's going to make you watch little Susie in a real bad situation. He's going to watch Becky and Susie are going to be surrounded by a bunch of marauders. You're going to be with your little pop gun in a chaotic situation. Officer, you got to go down to 53rd and L Street. Like a hell no, I'm taking off. I'm going to go home, and you're going to go home. The whole house is going to be, there's food in there. And Becky and Susie are in there trying to guard the food. And the house is surrounded. And God wants you to watch that. Not, he can just go, well, I'll just die and my family will be safe. No, not how it works. That's not how it works. That ain't how it works. Your worst fears, your absolute worst fears are going to come. What is your worst fear? What is the devil's worst fear? That those Negroes do to us what we did to them. That's the devil's worst fear. They're going to hang us by trees and cut off our limbs and our phallus. They're going to put us on a barbecue pit and have a picnic. That's the devil's worst fear. That whatever they did going back, let's say 500 years, what did you do to the children of Israel, God's chosen people, the apple of his eye for the last 500 years? It wasn't me. I didn't do anything. Is that a badge on your chest with a gun right there and them cuffs? What did you do? Tell you what you did. God knows everything you did. He knows your every thought. Going back, well, I've been on this. I've been on the beat for 20 years, and God knows everything you've done. Revelation 13, 9 and 10 again. If any man hath an ear, let him hear. Do you understand this? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You know what captivity is? When you lock somebody up and put them in a cell, that's captivity. When you're at war with your enemy and you blow your enemy's ass up and you round them all up and you give them a new name, POW, that's captivity. Do you know what happened to the children of Israel in 70 AD? We lost the war and we're captives right here to this very day. What is another name for captivity? Slavery. Well, you're not in slavery. There's no chains on you. Hey, we're almost out. We've done our time. Right? It's time to be set free out of the lockup. But what happens, though? Let's read it again. Captivity. You can substitute the word slavery for captivity. All right? He that leadeth into slavery shall, that means it's absolutely going to happen, shall go into slavery. Okay? And I believe this is in red letters. We all know what red letters. He that leadeth into slavery shall go into slavery. He that killeth with the sword. Do you know that your 9, your service revolver, your service pistol, that's a sword? Ask Kim Potter what the hell is going on. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. What does that mean, must be? That means it's going to happen. Not one of these prophecies is going to fail in this book. Okay? Not one. It's all going to come to pass. Okay? Whether you understand it or not. Must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right? Hey, we're almost out of here. All right? Well, what do you mean almost out of here? I mean this. The book of Revelation 11. And 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. That's the great extraction. Right before what? Revelation 11 and 13. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. All right? Judgment. Nobody's going to escape their judgment. And I'm just doing my job, just like you, right? You're just doing your job. You put on a little badge, go out with a gun, right? You do the work of the devil from the very top. What are they doing up there? The truth is coming out that they're up there drinking blood, eating flesh, doing all manner, raping children, but you down here doing what? You coming after us. Like we're the bad guy. No, the bad guy, you work for the bad guy. You're doing the bidding of the devil. And guess who you're doing it to? What? You get in your cruiser, you take your weapons, you go out and you do what? You abuse the children of Israel. Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. All right? What do? You brutalize them. You persecute them. Those are God's chosen people. You would have never thought that. Right? You're going to wake up to, very soon you're going to, I've been doing what? To God's chosen? Oh shit, I'm fucked. You're fucked. And it is what it is. All right? So with that, keep your head up. We're almost the hell up out of here. Come what may, it doesn't matter. We fear the Most High. We don't fear the devil. Devil got to do what the devil got to do. Devil got to do his job. All right? Do it. Right? Get one more. Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things that thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. I could change that word from prison to jail. Fear none of those things. There's that word fear again. We're back to fear. Don't fear the devil. Right? Don't fear evil, the devil. Right? I shall fear no evil. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, don't fear the devil. Right? Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into jail. Right? That ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful until death. You got to do what you got to do. And I will give thee a crown of life. The devil has to do what the devil was created to do. We get it. What about that crown? How about that crown of life? All we got to do is die. And guess what? You're still going to receive that judgment. You're still, whatever you did, God is not mocked. Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So, how did I wind up here today? Man's going. Show you. Here's what happened. Well, why did you? Man's. Proverbs 20:24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? How did you wind up on the FPD? How did that happen? Man's goings are of the Lord. You don't know, but you're going to find out. All right, so with that, Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and sincerity. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right, shalom.